Today I'm going to show you how to create a class in Möbius. So before you create a class, you have to make sure you have the right permissions. So if you can't do what I'm about to show you, just talk to your administrator at your school or someone else at your campus who can help you with that, and make sure that they give you proper permissions. But assuming you do, what you can do is you log into the platform. And this particular user already has a class here. So what I do is I go on my system homepage here and I click on the class manager at the top and I click add class. Now I just logged out and logged in with a different instructor, and you might have this view instead. You'll see this, basically nothing on your system homepage if you have not yet created any classes or been enrolled in any classes. And in this situation, you can also create a class by clicking on the add class button on the far left of my screen under you're not enrolled in any classes. So I'll do that right here. And now I'm back to the same screen that you saw before. So let me explain these different options here under class details. The first is the instructor and the instructor email. By default, it is filled in with the information of the person creating the class, which is myself right now. And I can always click change instructor to change who that primary instructor will be, and the email will update accordingly as well. We do have a help article on that if you want to look at that for more details. You can then fill it in a class ID or course ID. So I'll put in Math 200. You can also put a class name. Now the class name here is how this class will be identified on the system homepage for students, and then of course anywhere else in the platform. So it does have to be unique. If the name you put already exists, you'll get an error and you have to replace it with something else that doesn't exist. You can also provide a class short name if you like. This then means that if there are areas of Möbius where the class name you provide is too long, it'll use the short name instead. Now, who can self-enroll into this class? So if you choose all students, it is what it sounds like then. All students can self-enroll to the class themselves. They don't need a teacher to intervene or an administrator to put them into this course. The other option is students with class link. That way, students can only self-enroll if they've been given the class link URL from a teacher or administrator. Now, the bottom option is instructors must enroll students. This means that the only way that a student can get into this course is if somebody else, an instructor or an administrator, actually enrolls them in the course. There is no self-enrollment possible anymore. There is another help article about managing student enrollment that you can check out for more details. Now you might have two other options. They're not on my screen now, but there are two other options regarding student licensing and anonymous access. You can choose to enable those or not if you have them on your server. If you want to know more about that, again, there's existing help articles you can look at or talk to your administrator at your school. Now, this one right here allows students to drop class. This means that if it's selected, the students will have a link on the class homepage to drop out of the course, to unenroll themselves from the course. By default, it's turned off, which means by default, the only way a student can actually unenroll from a class is if somebody else, a teacher, instructor, administrator, actually unenrolls them from the course. You can also choose to have this class be a featured class. This is meant such that a class itself, when you create another course, it can inherit content from it, right? So basically you're saying, okay, any other course that's created on this server from my school, other instructors can choose to inherit my content as a child class. So by default, it's turned off. But as you can see here, if you were to select it, then in future times when people create classes, inherit content from your class, so Calculus 2 would be listed here. And if you select something here, for example, like organic chemistry, automatically then the class I'm creating becomes a child class of organic chemistry. So we do have additional help topics on creating a featured class and what this means. You can check it out in the help system if you like. Default role in class is student. This means that whenever a student is enrolled in the course, or whenever any user is enrolled in the course, their role would be a student in the class. If you change to something else, I don't recommend it, but it basically means that the default role that they're given is something besides student. So we recommend keeping it as student. Sort weight, I'm going to put 1 here. Basically, the lower the number, the higher it appears on the system homepage. And of course, the bigger the number, the lower it will appear in the list. You can also change the time zone if you want, but I'm going to keep mine as a default of EDT, which is my servers. And when I'm all done, I'm going to click on the submit button. And you'll get information telling you that it was successfully updated and created. And if you ever return them back to the system homepage, you will see on your screen the class you just created. And that's how you create a class in Möbius.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found this video to be helpful. Want to see what else you can do in Möbius? Be sure to check out the links to the Möbius online help in the video description, as well as our other Möbius video guides. Subscribe to the DigitalEd channel to be the first to know when a new video comes out. And don't forget to hit that like button.